Hi everybody, it's me, Relaxing, also known as Chino and Artie. I'm actually watching a movie right now. It's actually one of my favorites, okay? It was when I was growing up. I actually came by this video and it was Captain America. I'm watching the Blu-ray edition that was released by Shout Factory. I actually have the original VHS, but I gotta really look for it. And this movie, I gotta tell you about my opinion about it. See, look at Captain America. Yeah! There's versus the Red Skull with a plastic surgery. Okay, I gotta say about this movie, it was low budget because during that time, after Dolph Lundgren's version, portrays as the Punisher, directed by Mark Goldblatt, who is known as the best film editor for the Terminator movies, or he's known as one of the best ace editing. But when you're looking at this Captain America movie, it was directed by Albert Pyun. He was one of my favorite directors because he directed Cyborg. I mean, this was one of those time and era that it was just very competitive. When are they gonna come out with Marvel movies? But Marvel was never really released any movies during that time. They were going straight to video, straight to Laserdisc. And most of their Marvel release was being released overseas. Especially Captain America was released in Europe more than here in America. But I gotta take my take on this. A lot of people panned this movie, alright? You can't blame it. It was filmed in low budget, okay? And the beginning of the film, it was already, look, there's a characters there that already inspired to make the remake. And look at that. Even the beginning, even the pacing was almost identical to the new one. The thing about this movie that made it better than that one piece of junk, this is the old Captain America movies. Okay, I actually have them. This is a rare VHS tape, and I actually have them in protective sleeves. Captain America 2, okay, Dead Too Soon, identical covers, and it doesn't show any screenshots, but it's released by Universal MCA. But this movie was one of my favorites when I was growing up because one of the fight scenes was so realistic to me because Albert Pyun knows how to make kung fu movies to me, but I noticed they invested so much in the beginning that you never actually see Captain America fully dressed up while his suit was still in its prime. It was already destroyed right in the beginning of the movie, as you can see right here. I'm gonna give you some spoilers. Right here, the minute it exposed him right here, this is when it exposed his suit. And his suit's already damaged, he's already bleeding, it's ripped. See right there. And there's the Red Skull. And they did a lot of altering because Albert Pyun had a lot of originality about making this movie. Okay? He wanted the Captain America to be in a black suit because during that time they had the U.S. agent, which was a retired Captain America suit, and it would have been better that way, but if there was a story between he had that original suit and then we found out that Dr. Vasily, the character who created the serum for him, it would have been better that he found out there was another suit, later on. So he was more camouflaged in the beginning, and then later on he has the red, white, blue. And what was the explanation about the character, about Dr. Vasily, was my favorite part was that she doesn't know anything about camouflage. Nope. But she sure does love the red, white, and blue. And this is one of my favorite. Look at this. This is actually a good movie. But it's one of those 80s movies, so as I scope around, I noticed there were actors identical from Deliverance. It has Ronnie Cox, it has Ned Bailey. If you don't know this actor was known to be first time ever in screen ever witnessed getting man raped. He got raped by hillbillies, and he was also the villain of Toy Story 3's the ugly little bear, that pink bear. But this Matt Salinger as the Captain America, I remember him. He was an extra in that movie Revenge of the Nerds. So his dad is a very popular novel. He knows that. That's what I heard. But if you heard of the Albert Pyun, the director, he's known for making good low budget movies. So in this movie, I gotta explain why it was bad and panned. But you gotta say, when you played Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel Superheroes, the Capcom game, the movements and the fight, the way he fights was actually rendered straight from this movie. And throwing his shield is not really effective because it actually comes back to him, and sometimes it doesn't, because they explained that he needs a bit of practice, maybe about a month. So, expectedly, there were supposed to be sequels. But my favorite part is how he threw the shield, and it's really cool. Like, where is it? Where is it? And that's and look, Captain America. Those are not real ears. Those are actually rubber ears. That was a little controversy. Marvel had a lot of control of this movie more than Albert Pignon, and it was very hard for him to direct the movie because Marvel says no, and he was just abiding by it. He's professional. But look at the and when he throws the shield, it's really cool. It doesn't come back to him yet, but later on it does come back, and sometimes it doesn't. And what I enjoy about this movie was how Captain America does his flips, and it's straight rendered. You know, when you look at the Capcom games, it's very reminiscent to this movie. Like, wait. And the best part about it, Captain America does not use a gun at all. He will never use a gun. He's an athlete. In the new one, he was actually using guns in the first Captain America movie, and then in this one, he doesn't at all. And look how he does his flips. And yeah, okay, those scenes, okay, if you saw the Red Skull doing Kung Fu, play the video game Captain America vs. the Red Skull, that arcade game that came out on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. I recommend playing it on Super Nintendo if you want to see extra cutscenes, but identical to the arcade for the home version is actually the Sega Genesis version. So you'll see where they rendered a lot of things, because the Red Skull does know Kung Fu. It's kind of crazy, you know? And it's crazy looking at Ronnie Cox as the president, because he was a president or a CEO for OCP and RoboCop. He's doing a lot of political roles later on, because he was known as the good guy type, guitarist, a musician type of roles, but now he's doing these kind of politic movies. But yeah, look at that. That's the fight scenes are very ahead of its time. Look at the rapid editing on this. So, Shout Factory decided to re-release this movie. Okay, it was made by 21st Century Films. They actually are known for making other movies besides this movie. They were actually doing Phantom of the Opera, starring Robert Englund, and this is actually a decent movie. I mean, a lot of people panned it, but when I was growing up, this was actually a good movie to me. It was better than these Captain America. I mean, this was like a television movie, and in this movie, it made it look like he's more of a police officer. While this Captain America is from Long Beach, California. Steve Rogers is more human. When you see him right here, the problem about it was Marvel didn't want to make it from a different little boy to a different big guy. So I can see why later on CGI did their work with the new Captain America movie starring Chris Evans. Chris Evans had a double to make him look skinny. In this one, they changed the story a lot by giving him polio. It means he couldn't walk right. He's a cigarette smoker, but in personality, he's a patriot. There's Dr. Vasily, who explains who created the super serum. So he was more of a mild version of the Red Skull, because the Red Skull is more stronger, but he turned red. So, out of this, okay, back in the days, when you're rating this out of 10, I actually gave it a 7. But now these days, you gotta look at it, it's more of like a 5. So, the rapid editing, I gotta say it was a good effort, and I really thank Albert Pignon for directing this movie. He even had a director's cut, but I never seen it came out. Even his other director's cut, the Cyborg movie. But, he's known for making post-apocalyptic kung fu movies, but, hey, I mean, he's a great director. He even tried to make a sequel to that one movie, but I don't know. He's doing a lot. He knows how to do his movies. He had a little case going on in Guam, where I used to live at. I used to live in the North Mariana Islands of Saipan. So he made a movie that happened in Guam. I was like, whoa. So thank you guys for watching. This is my video on the Captain America of 1990. It was just 1 year right after Batman, and I gotta say, it was a woman who did the Batman suit, and it was the same person who made the same suit on this movie. Alright, thank you for watching.